Good morning, Stamping friends. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Lorri Heiling, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And I'm happy to bring you projects that I've been working on. Did you guys have a storm a couple nights ago in your area? Oh my goodness, we in Arizona hardly see rain, and we had what you call a haboob. Don't ask me who made up that name, but it's basically a windstorm. And Dan and I were watching Netflix, and we actually turned the TV off or paused it and then got up, opened the sliding glass door to watch the rain and to take pictures of the hail that was coming down. Now remember, we're from Minnesota, so it's not like this is the first time we've ever seen rain, but we just kind of laugh at how, you know, when something doesn't happen often, how it becomes kind of like a crazy, unusual thing that happens, and we stop what we're doing. So we just got a kick out of that. But now the aftermath, our pool was a mess and the lawn and stuff, but it was just kind of a fun change of pace, as long as nobody gets hurt or you know, too much destruction in their neighborhood or home. But it was excitement for us. But anyway, I am gonna share with you a project, but I wanna remind you that it is bonus days in July until the 31st. And so if you put in an order that is in $50 increments, for every $50, you will receive a $5 coupon to be used and redeemed in the month of August. So make sure you take advantage of that, because even for little basic things you need, every little bit helps when you can get a discount on it. And the other thing is the Cozy Craft Retreat. Now remember, our in-person is sold out. We have a wait list for that, but we do have a few kits available, and we are going to close that down July 31st. So if you want to get that, please sign up now. And if we're going to close it out at the 31st or whenever we sell out of the kit. So make sure that you don't think about it longer, and make sure you sign up if you would like that, because I would hate for you to miss out on the deadline. So you have, let's see, today's the 16th. You have 2 more weeks, a little over 2 weeks to decide if you want that. And you can go on my website and blog to find out, you know, more details on that. All right, so let's get started with the project today. This is an idea I had in my mind for quite some time, and I'm finally gonna make this today. It won't take very long because it's another fast and simple one, but it's just kind of fun and another way to use a die that you might not have thought of in this way. So let's turn the camera around and get started. The card today we're gonna make is using the Sweetly Scripted stamp set. I love this one. I love sentiment words that are drawn out and have the little squiggly lines. So this one's really fun. Look at all the occasions that you can accomplish with one stamp set. Now I want to remind you, many of our products are included in the online exclusives, which means that you cannot find them in any catalog, and the only way you can find them is online. And so you can just go to the Stampin' Up! Website, and I can put the link to my shopping area, and then just go down to shop and then online exclusives, or you can type in Sweetly Scripted, or you can type in online exclusives in the search area, and all of the online exclusives will come up. But there's almost like a catalog in itself online, so be sure to check out that area. There's so many really neat products there, including some Christmas and Halloween things. All right, so that's the stamp set. And the paper we're going to use, I'm going to show you my little sampler I have, because you can see all of the paper on one sheet. Country Lace, isn't this pretty? Oh, it's so sweet and delicate, but yet some blues if you want masculine. It looks like denim down here. And these, some of the patterns kind of repeat here. These are kind of the same here. So, and then the coordinating colors are really pretty basic beige, which is a new classic color that we have this year, and it will stay in the catalog. Misty Moonlight, Petal Pink, and Smoky Slate. All right, I started with a piece of Petal Pink, 8.5 by 5.5 inch piece of cardstock. And then on the long side, I scored it at 4 1/4, which is a very common size for standard A2 cards. Just kind of crease that with your bone folder. Then what we're going to do is take some basic white cardstock, and we are going to adhere this, and this will make our second layer. And this is just the basic white, not the thick one. I only use the thick one when I use basic white as the base of the card, but for layering I definitely use the basic white, because you get more for your buck with this one, and you get 40 sheets in a pack as well, where the other one you only get 24. But the other one is still good to use, because for card bases you want it a little bit thicker, and it's about the thickness of the colored cardstock. The next thing we're going to do is take a piece of the Designer Series paper, the blue one, this Misty Moonlight, and we are going to cut this to 5 1/4 by 4 inches. And then what we're going to do is start at the top right not quite the corner, in about maybe about a ½ inch. This does not have to be perfect. And then we're just gonna start tearing and tear down at a diagonal until you hit the very left bottom corner. Like I said, it does not have to be perfect. And save this piece, just kind of set that aside. And the next one, we're gonna do the same thing on this one, but we're gonna start in, maybe, I don't know, about, do you want me to measure it? It is about 2½ inches, but it really doesn't matter. And then just start tearing again. And this time we're gonna go the same diagonal, but we're gonna end up in the bottom corner again. So it'll be a little bit different shape. All right, so you have 2 pieces like this. And we're just gonna set it here. We don't wanna adhere it yet. In fact, what I wanna do is use some removable tape. I should have Stampin' Up! Sold this because I use it a lot. I just got it at a craft store, really cheap. But sometimes I just need to adhere that so that it doesn't move, but it lifts very easily. And just put that down there because we're gonna do something different later. So right on top of the white. Now we're gonna do the same thing, put a little bit of adhesive on the back because we don't want this to stick. It's okay that those meet up like that and just like that. And you see that that made a little gateway where we have some room to stamp here. So now we are gonna take that stamp and we are gonna make this a get well card. So let me grab this because I don't wanna stamp on my background paper here, because it'll probably go off the edge a little bit at the top. All right, I am gonna use Misty Moonlight because that's what color this is. Just gonna ink this up. Now this one you have to be careful when you have skinny lines. Sometimes when you press too hard on this stamp, you'll get some on the edges here because you're pressing so hard, and usually these are pretty juicy when you first get them. And we don't wanna do that because we know what happens when you press too hard on the paper like that with a juicy ink pad. It's going to catch that, and then you're going to have extra lines here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it upside down because I just want to barely tap, yet I want to have enough ink on there, but I want to also make sure that I don't get any on those extra edges. So this way I'm making sure that there isn't any overflow on there. All right, now we're going to flip it over, and like I said, we want it to go off the page a little bit. So we are going to just go like this. And it looks like it might go a little bit on the blue, but that's okay. Like that. Perfect. Now what we're gonna do is, I'm actually using a die from the Hearts and Hugs die set. And I'll show you what I'm after in here. Heart and Hugs is part of a cute little critter set. I'll put the full set on my blog, but actually all I'm after is that little heart in there. So if you have a die set that already has a heart or a punch, you can go ahead and use that. All right, now I'm ready to adhere this for real on the card front. So what we're gonna do is flip it over, and this time we're actually gonna use foam adhesive strips because these are almost double the thickness of dimensionals, and I really want to pop here. I love cards that have that little channel in the middle, and it just makes like a divot where you stamp, and it just makes like, I don't know, I just like that technique. I don't know if there's a word for it, but I just really like the look of that. You can see many of my cards use that. I'm just tearing it apart. You can cut it if you want, but sometimes my scissors tend to get gummy, so I just break them apart. And then center it how we had it before. See how that really gives it a pop there? All right, and then we're gonna do the same thing on this side. Get another strip here. They come really, really long, and I cut them in half just so they're easier to work with, and they don't take up as much space in the spot I have for them in my craft room. And just go ahead and fill up that side about in the same areas as we did before. Did you guys have a good 4th of July weekend? We sure did. We had family over for a barbecue and a pool day, and then we pack up and go see fireworks that's in a neighborhood nearby us. And then I would say we are home within an hour and a half, and we have yummy junk food, and it's just really a fun holiday every year. All right, so there's the other side. Now we're not quite done yet. It needs a little bit something else for this graphic. So what we're gonna do is take one more die, and this one is from Unbounded Love Oh, there's a gazillion dies in here. But the one I'm after is this one. I cut something else with this, a sentiment on a different card that I did. And as I was cutting it out, I said, oh my gosh, this totally looks like a Band-Aid. So this is what it looks like cut out. And again, it's from that Country Lace Designer Series paper. Then I cut out a little square, and this is 7/8 inch by 7/8 inch. And what we're gonna do is just grab one of the larger dimensionals and just put one in the middle. Oh, by the way, I did emboss it, and I used the one called Snowflake Sky 3D embossing folder. It was actually a winter one, but we still have it. It carried over. And what I did was when I placed it on the embossing folder, which you can see right here, I see there's lots of snowflakes in there, but there's also areas that don't have snowflakes. They're just the dots. And so I just placed that tiny little square on an area that did not have a snowflake. And we're just gonna put this right in the middle of our Band-Aid. And that will be the padded area. Okay, now we just need to add this to our card. So I'm gonna put a couple dimensionals, and I think 2 large ones will work on this one. Just on the very ends of them. Then we're going to put a Band-Aid right here. So it looks like it's kind of trying to splice that owie, the torn paper. And then one more teeny tiny detail. I know this is going a little bit OCD here, but we even want to make this special. So I'm gonna take just a teeny tiny bit of my dimensionals, like the smallest square that you can cut. I know you don't really have to do this, you can just glue it on, but I like to use dimension on many things, or as many things as I can. So I think we can do this without it being seen. It all depends on how you arrange that square. Yep, okay, and then we need to add a little heart on that. So I'm going to make it so it's not at an angle, so that when we look at it, it's straight, and just put it at the bottom like that. And there you have it. There is a get well card for someone. And then we have some sentiments that would go well on the inside. And we are just going to use the stamp from So Sincere. Let me share with you what that looks like. Lots of nice sayings in there, especially for the inside of cards. And we'll just use our coordinating Misty Moonlight for the ink. Then we will just add some adhesive, and then we will have that completed card like this. All right, I hope you enjoy that fast and easy card. If you'd like to place an order, I would love it if you use my Stampin' Up! Website, and you can use my host code. If you use that and your order is over $50, you will receive some Stampin' Up! Product in the mail, is my way of saying thank you. And also, if you hit that $50 mark, you will also receive an email from Stampin' Up! with a coupon good for next month, and you can redeem it at that time. Also, I have in-person classes at my home. I do an online card club. The deadline is the 10th of each month. And also remember, the Cozy Craft Retreat kit is going to close for orders on July 31st. Thank you again, everyone, and I look forward to seeing you next month.